Okay then guys, welcome back to another video. Fuck am I talking about? So, I want to talk to you guys about how no man knows how to live beyond 25. I've got to play you a clip, okay? I'll play this now.
Have you ever thought about how there's nothing to do? There's literally nothing to do, is there? Like, what are the options? You either go to work, and then everything after work is just designed to take that money back off you. And you, on a weekend, like, you walk around some shops and spend some money, or you go to a supermarket, or you go out drinking, or you take your kids to a soft play centre. The chances of us being here and the whole complexity of how human life even come into existence, and you get here and there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do.
So, I've seen this so many times. There's so many guys in the world that act like they have no idea what to do. They get to a certain age and they're just like, what do I do now? They've come out of school, they've played a little bit of sports, they have a schedule that's put in place for them their whole life. They're not left to their own devices. This is the thing. Like, when you're a kid, your parents tell you what to do. I'm making a video on this soon. You decide your bedtime, it'll be cool. And I'll go into how you control your life. It'll be you guys are gonna love it. It's proper, old school, deep self-improvement. But on the surface of this, your parents tell you when to go to bed, they tell you what food to cook. You go to school, they tell you what to do, where to be, what time, all this shit. You have a football coach, baseball coach, swimming coach, whatever, they tell you what time practice is and stuff like that. Your whole life is governed by other people. You have a routine that is governed by everyone else. Everyone else is telling you what to do. You then get to a certain age where you're playing, you might be playing sport just for recreation. There's no purpose behind it now. You don't really know why you're doing it. You feel a little bit lost. Those days of going out and having beers and enjoying it with the boys, just because it's Saturday, which is part of tribalistic routine again. When you're 18, it's like, we're going out tonight. And you go, why? It's Saturday, why not? Let's get fucked up. And you go, good point. That all fades away. You can't do that anymore. It just hits you. You just go, well, I'm not enjoying it like I used to. You guys know there's memes on this. That 1,000-mile stare, that 1,000-yard stare, when a guy's in the club and he's just like, oh shit, just isn't hitting the same anymore. I kind of want to go home. I want to go and do something. You just realize, like, instead of chasing women and partying and having the time of my life, like, I actually want to be building something. I actually want something of my own. I actually want some level of worth. I want something that I can put my hands on and say, I own that. My life is progressing. I'm going somewhere. It hits everybody at different points. It hit me when I was 18, and as sad as it was, I was lucky. My best friend died in a car accident at 18, which is terrible, but I was lucky, which is a weird way to look at it, because that kicked me up the arse and it made me realize that mortality is real and we're not going to live forever and shit does happen. And when everyone else was going out getting drunk, I was like, I'm not feeling this. I was like, I know there's more to life. And then I was lucky because my hair started falling out. And I remember just thinking to myself, I'm getting old. This is a real thing. Like, I can't, and you'd go out to clubs and people would just be like, you two went to school together, you're the same age. Me and my friend were literally speaking about this the other day. And because that wounds you, it hurts, you're like, what the fuck am I doing here? This isn't my location. I call it horses for courses. And I was like, I am the 30, 40-year-old guy in my teens and 20s who is going to have his swan song, so to speak, if you don't know what that means, like his best time of his life is going to be in his male advantage years, his 30s and 40s. I knew all this before it was even a thing. I was speaking about this 15 years ago in my own head. And I was like, I'm going to position myself to be a 40-year-old in my 30s and in my 20s. So that when I get to my 30s and it's real and I can live that lifestyle, I've prepped for it in advance. That's why I'm so optimistic about getting older. I say to you guys, 30s are the best time of your life. 40s might be even better. Can't wait till I'm 50. And people go, it's just cope. Because all you've ever known is video games. All you've ever known is going out clubbing and getting drunk. All you've ever known is masturbation, going to school, hanging out with your friends. Mostly, all I've ever known, because I had some good years clubbing when I was younger, but like all I've ever known mostly is like staying in on a Saturday night and working on my body and my business, and just, I was going to coffee shops and sitting on my own when everyone was saying you're a weirdo, and they were going out getting drunk, like in a park, just down in vodka. And I was like, I think I'd rather go and watch a show. It was weird. I just picked up these like adult-like habits early because I knew that's where my life was headed anyway. So I kind of like framed it as, if I'm going to be headed that way anyway, why don't I just set my life up in that way in advance? And then when it comes round to that part, I'll already be there. And life will come to me and I'll be in my comfort zone, horses for courses. I am the right horse for this course. It suits me, it suits my life. And I've figured that the majority of life was like that. You know, once you get to like 25, all the way until you're about 70, you kind of want the same things. People say, oh, but I want to live while I'm young. I want my youth. And you go, guys, I'll be honest with you, youth doesn't last that long. At most, it's 9 years. It's like 16 to 25, and then it's done. And then everyone goes, so what the fuck are you doing with your life? It starts to get serious and you go, oh shit, yeah, maybe I should change. Maybe I should switch on, you know, and the habits that you used to have completely change. Like, instead of watching football on the TV and getting drunk, you go and watch it in the stadium, in the VIP section or a box with a beautiful woman or business clients. Do you know what I mean? It becomes completely different. Instead of going out and getting drunk with the boys, you go to a nice Michelin star restaurant. Like we had here on Saturday, for example, we actually had Simon Cowell's personal chef cooking for us. And, you know, we had a massive meal here. He cooked up Italian food. We got footage of it. It's unbelievable. And like that becomes an experience because then you can have conversations. And if I could just get you guys inside my brain and get you excited about that sort of lifestyle and show you what you could actually do, the optimism you would have for the future would be unbelievable. Like when I say to you guys, walking around Barcelona in the winter with a nice trench coat on, with a coffee in hands and a beautiful woman talking about life, some people go, that's boring. You need to change because that is the majority of life. Like I find pleasure in simplicity, and that is why I succeed in life. This is why I'm happy. This is why I'm good with women, because I find pleasure in just like having a conversation, which resonates really well. I don't need to be having sex. I don't need to be getting drunk. I've never needed to do drugs. I've smoked about 3 cigarettes in my life, smoked a little bit of weed, and that's it. You know, I don't need a lot to make myself happy, and I've trained my brain to do that. I've always set myself as a 40-year-old ever since I was 20. And I think it's the best mentality, because for those guys that are like, I go to work, I go to the gym, I come home, there's not a lot to do, I just kind of just sit in front of the TV and watch some series, is because you can't find pleasure in simplicity and you haven't actually realized that normality is life. Day after day, the majority of life is boring. There's not a lot of things happening. And you have childlike habits. Video games, porn, going out and getting drunk. It's like these are childlike habits, and the quicker you nip them in the bud and you start looking for other things to do, the quicker you'll be happy, because that is the majority of life. And that's one of the saddest things on the planet, is being the last guy. If you are the last guy, if you get to like 29 years old and you're the last one still going out doing that shit, you're going to seriously regret it for the rest of your life, because everyone else has moved on, had kids, had families and stuff like that. So you need to put your brain in a professional situation early on. This is a big reason why I created One in Mind, because if you're a younger guy and you're now in the group and you're talking to me every day and you're hanging out with me and we go on holiday together and you can see the way I conduct myself, the things we do, the things we enjoy, when you get back home, you're going to become that individual. It's going to accelerate your life. Okay, so everyone thinks by simply sitting there and doing nothing, it helps. It's experience, it's life experience, it's getting out there. I mean, the majority of the people that I hung around with were always in their 30s and 40s when I was young. And that's one thing that I wanted to pass down, is the older guys mentoring the younger guys, because you realize if that's where I'm headed anyway, that's the habits that I need, that's the way I need to act, that's the way I need to behave. It's like walking around in a hoodie, and jogging bottoms and trainers, and then you go, yeah, but like, let's maybe put a suit on here, let's put a nice trench coat on here, let's put a nice outfit on, let's get you a nice white shirt, let's groom you properly, let's make you look more like a man, and then suddenly their life changes and they go, oh, I'm getting this now, this is making sense. And this is what life does. Life keeps you immature. Did you know that? Like video games, porn, TV, anime, these things, they're literally built to keep people immature, because the more immature you are, the more likely you are to stress out, have high emotions, make impulse purchases. It's the best thing for the economy. Nobody wants, like the economy doesn't want, and the governments of the world don't want money being hoarded. They don't want you to keep it in your bank account. They want you to circulate it around on shit. They want you to be going out and going, I feel bad about myself, let me go and buy myself a new t-shirt. I feel bad about myself, let me go and buy the new Yeezys. I feel bad about myself, let me sign up to Disney, Netflix, Prime, Hulu, every fucking thing on the planet. That's how they get you. Whereas if you go, no, I understand there's going to be highs of lows of life, that's a 40-year-old mindset. Let me go and lock in on the things that actually are important. Let me go out for a nice... Here's something that you guys have probably never thought of that I actually thought of years ago. I actually give myself some credit. I actually thought it was pretty genius. I figured this out when I was about 22. if I don't go out and get drunk once per week and spend £200 and get bladdered off my face and then have no energy for the week, no motivation, maybe it's coupled with a kebab and masturbation and then video games and late night, and then I'm like, can't be bothered, I'm depressed for the rest of the week. I hope it's not getting too dark, by the way, guys. It looks all right, doesn't it? But yeah, if I go through that, then, you know, it messes up me for a week. Anybody who's ever gone out and got drunk, they know that it takes until about Wednesday to feel good. And then it takes until around about Saturday, Sunday to catch up on your gains again. You're always weaker in the gym for 3-4 days. So you're regressing, you're going backwards. So I figured, okay, if I don't get drunk, I can go out 7 nights per week. And what I mean by that is Monday I can go to the cinema, £10. Tuesday I can go out for some food. Wednesday, I can maybe, I don't know, go to a dance class, go and learn some salsa. Thursday, I can go to a Spanish class. Friday, I can jump on a quick trip to Paris, have 2-3 days with a woman, come home. All in all, you add it up and you're like, God, it's about the same amount of money that I was spending on alcohol anyway. I came up with this at 22, sat with my dad in Barcelona. I said to him, I was like, look, you're spending £200 per weekend going out and getting drunk. That's £800 per month. If you stack that into the bank, you'd be in better shape. And you could go to Barcelona every single month for probably a 1-week holiday, get yourself some sun, learn the language, travel around, meet up with beautiful women. I was like, you could have the time of your life. Imagine the food, the meals, the experiences you could have. I was like, look how much fun we're having today. I was like, you're just wasting your life in that same local pub, spending £800 per month. I was like, think about it. Next thing you know, we actually moved there, which was pretty incredible, and got with a woman that was out there. But, you know, when you see that, it's just like, look who he became. He became very cultured. He became the type of man that finds pleasure in simplicity, like just walking on the beach, coffee in hands, going to the gym, you know, doing a little bit of shopping, buying some nice fashion. He had spare money. He had loads of spare money, and he started going, oh my God, my life's amazing. I'm actually enjoying myself for the first time. It's, I saw a video recently, I think his name's Gent Z, and he said in this fast-paced lifestyle now, like slowness is what gets you results. I couldn't agree more. That's why we say to you guys, just sit down, have a coffee, make some notes, plan some things out. Everything now is like, you need to get rich tomorrow, you need to do this tomorrow, and it's like, that's a very childlike mindset. I need to be a billionaire by 23. It's like, guys, slow it all down. Slow it all down, enjoy the process, just slow it all down, find pleasure in simplicity, go and find adult-like habits, things that get you out the house for fuck's sake. Like the amount of guys that I see that just live online, you're watching my video now, if you want, turn it off and fuck off outside. I'd actually encourage you to do so. Just turn it off, go for a walk. It means my video's just worked. I've just got results out of it. Well done, congratulations, we're both happy. But get outside, get some life experience, go and sign up to some classes. Do you know what I mean? If you're on your 9th Netflix show, like, if you're on your 15th video on YouTube tonight, if you've masturbated 3 times this week already, like, get the fuck outside and go and do something different with your life. Go and find some experiences, because that's where the real growth is. That's what will expand your mind. That's how you'll get to a point in your life where you go, okay, I'm doing something, I'm moving forward. I'm not just going to the same pub, drinking alcohol with the same people who are getting chubbier, who are going nowhere, trying to impress the same fucking girls that have been ran through by 68 guys in that room anyway. You don't want that. Elevate your minds, look at it, like go bigger. The reason so many people were bored during COVID is because they couldn't go to work and they couldn't go to the gym. And then they realized, fuck, my life is shit. All I do is work, gym, and come home and sleep. Work, gym, repeat. Work, gym, repeat. So I made that video recently. If all you do is gym and work, watch this. And people, like, it got like 200,000 plus views because everybody does that. Everybody was relating to it because your life is boring. You just have nothing. And it doesn't mean you have to spend loads of money, but you just don't have anything really going on because you don't know how to do it. Adult male life is completely different. See, women, they have a get out of jail cards. They sit there and they go, I want to have kids. I'm going to start a family one day. They know where their direction's going to go. A lot of men are like, I have no idea yet. I have no idea. I mean, I'm tiptoeing around the idea. I have somewhat of an idea, but I'm still sat there every day like, I don't really know yet. I love it here in London, but I'm like, do I want to live here for the rest of my life? I don't know. Do I want to travel a bit? I don't know. Just having fun doing what I'm doing right now. And it's like, we don't have like concrete answers. So the best thing you can do is live that adult male life. Because if you're sat there playing video games, going out and getting drunk, just trying to fill the void of loneliness and confusion and not knowing, then it's like, well, you might as well do stuff that's going to progress you. What is the meaning of life? It's experiences. It's moments, experiences, memories and stuff like that. Because For me, it's the only thing that can exist in the past, present, and future. You know, you think about it, like how many things can you have that exist in three tenses? Experiences, that's what life's all about. You can experience something in the past via a memory. You can experience something in the present right now via standard experiences. And you can experience a future event by looking forward to it and having optimism. That gets you excited and stirs up emotions. And for me, that's all life is about, experiences. And you guys just need to find adult male experiences, adult male life. Like try new things. Like if your friend, like when I was younger, my friends used to laugh at me because I was like, does anybody want to go to this like nice restaurant and we can sit and have a coffee and have a chat? Gay, you're gay. And I was like, I think it's going to pay off. And now when I go to Michelin star restaurants with women, they're like, you can see they're impressed that you know your way around, you know how to talk, you're comfortable, horses for courses. I am comfortable in my home turf. That's my home stadium. When I go into a nightclub, I'm like, oh, get me out of here, man. I don't even drink. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm away from home. I'm like, I don't want to be here. This sucks. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to go to a rooftop bar somewhere civilized, like, you know, central, like Mayfair, or I'm going to go to a Dubai or something like that, or a Barcelona rooftop bar, and I'm just going to have a nice time. I don't want to go to a nightclub where everyone's a bit punchy and, you know, it gets a little bit low level. I love a good fight, but I don't want to fight. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't want to go out and be punching people in the head. That's 21-year-old behavior. People are just trying to fill the void because they've got nothing else going on. And you guys need to realize, okay, there's another. Go and watch my video. It's called The Other Side of Male Life. Go and watch that video from years ago. Like there is another side of male life. There's things like getting a membership at a top level gym that has amazing spa facilities and going with your girl on a Sunday morning. Like the one thing that I found, guys, and this gets me so passionate, is I turned Saturday nights into Sunday mornings. And I need you to understand that I stopped getting pleasure from going out and getting drunk. I stopped getting pleasure from chasing girls at 4 a.m. I stopped getting pleasure from playing video games till 3 a.m. I don't know what I was doing in that extra hour from 3 to 4. I don't know why women are around from 3 to 4. But, you know, that was my mindset. And I started to go, do you know what I'd rather do? I'd rather go to bed early. And it feels shit. I get it. On a Saturday night, you're going to bed at 9, 10, you're getting into bed. I used to be able to hear people outside my window when I lived in Cheltenham in the alleyway drunk. And part of me used to think, that guy's throwing up, that guy's arguing with his girlfriend. I'm glad I'm not out. But part of me was like, this kind of sucks, I'm missing out on life. But do you know what was nice? Waking up at 5 a.m, driving down the roads in your nice car, going to your nice gym, getting a session in, and then coming out and seeing all of these fucking people drunk stumbling home, number one. That was the first thing. Dodging the sick in the alleyway was the second thing where I was like, I'm glad I'm not doing this shit. But number three was like, by 8 p.m, I was fully dressed, fully washed, just been to the gym, looking clean, feeling good. Mind was clear, money is in the bank, and I was like, I'm gonna go for a nice coffee. I'm gonna sit on my laptop. I'm gonna speak to people all day. I'm not gonna fuck my life up because last night I didn't punch somebody, or I didn't end up in a jail cell, or, you know, I don't feel hungover and depressed, because the two go together. It's terrible. You know, I didn't break up with my girlfriend because I slapped her when I was like high on drugs or whatnot. It's just like you get to just wake up in the morning clean, no regrets, you remembered everything, get on with your life, sit at a nice coffee shop, get some work done on your laptop, meet up with your civilized friends, have a nice bit of food, have a conversation, meet up with your mum, sister, brother, whatever it might be, and then you can have a full day. Otherwise, you just lie in bed till like 3 p.m. You get out, you scoff a bit of shit food, you get a delivery order, you mong in front of the TV all day, you doom scroll on TikTok, and it's like, you end up getting like 10% of life. Like days go quicker when you live like a child. Days go way quicker when you're just like, oh, I'm hungover, I don't know what to do today. They go way quicker because you're just fucking doing nothing. Whereas when you live like 100 lives in the space of a year, where you maximize the hours, and the way you do that is by getting up early, getting out in the daylight, and making things happen in the day. Like I said, you trade Saturday nights for Sunday mornings. That's when it all comes together. I promise you guys. And then you start, because you're happier, because you're doing shit you actually enjoy and you know that will pay off moving forwards, you find pleasure in simplicity. And that's how you stove off all the depression. That's how you get rid of the I need to be a billionaire by 23 shit. And you go, I'm working towards something and I'm becoming a better man. My conversation is getting better. My fashion is getting better. I'm in a better shape. My experiences are better. I'm doing some really nice stuff with some good people. I'm traveling the world. I have these experiences that I didn't have before. And to be honest, it's actually cheaper than going out and getting drunk. It's actually cheaper than the shit that I used to do before. And nice clothes are actually cheaper than the expensive branded Supreme clothes and Yeezys anyway. and you go, oh my God, like I'm being perceived differently by the public. I've got higher quality women taking an interest with me. It's easier to get a job interview. There's so many things lining up for me. I actually feel like I belong. I'm finally becoming a pillar in society. That's what you're missing out on. You don't know about the other side of male life. You don't know about going skiing in winter, you know, and having that experience. All you know is just get down the pub, have a couple beers, the England match is on. That's what so many people are doing. And it's like once you take your brain out of the gutter and you put it in another realm and you go the other side of male life, this is how post 20, should be post 21, but post 25 for most people, this is how I should actually live. Let me transfer over and become the man that I actually want to be. Let me go and get some adult male habits and hobbies and interests. You end up talking to a super high level woman about art or architecture and you're like, oh wow, this is actually stimulating me on a level that I didn't think could. You know, you go to maybe a fashion week and you meet a woman there and you start like talking about fashion. Maybe she's reading the same book as you and you're like, oh my God, this is so much deeper than like, oh, nice ass in a club. That's the other side of male life. So many men don't know how to live beyond 25 and it's the greatest, you know, in Fight Club when he's like, this is our war, it's a spiritual war. This is our war in this generation. Because we're pushing kids off further into the future and we're not having them yet, we have this central void before the male advantage where we're just like, what do I do? What is my life? What do I do? And people go and get jacked to make money and then they go, is it fixed it? And you're like, no, you're still in the void because they're just platforms. They're nothing on their own. They're just platforms. You need them to do more. They're just platforms on their own, like, oh, I'm in great shape and I have money. It's like, so what? Do you have life set up and framing? Do you have the right experiences? Do you have the right people around you to make things happen? How are you leveraging that money? And I mean like via experiences or investments, like what are you working on? You know, you're in great shape, but how do you dress? You're in great shape, but what sort of locations do you go to? Do you go to Ibiza and you've got girls taking shots off your abs? Because that's not worth getting in shape for. You know, if you get in shape and you go to, you know, the south of France and you bump into some very high level people and you end up meeting your wife down there because she is, again, a high level woman, then you go, okay, now I get it. You know, framing on its own is just getting in shape and having money and a nice car and a nice watch. Framing is just one thing on its own. It's how you set your life up to work together, to coincide. You frame yourself as this top level guy, but how is your life set up in a certain way that you can then use that and maximize what you've built? You know, it's great. The foundations of life, I've always told you, get in shape, make money. Once you have them, you need to know how to use them. And so many of you guys are just chasing those two completely mindlessly. You're just going, if I get more money and I get in shape. And then you get it and you go, if I get even more money and I get in even better shape. It's going nowhere. It's going nowhere. By the time you get your money to a 6 or 7, probably like 60, 70 grand a year, pounds, probably 100K like USD or something. Once you get to around about that realm and your body is a 7 out of 10, where like you're 14% body fat with a bit of muscle, your life should be amazing. If it's not, you're doing it wrong. You should be killing it. It's just like, get those foundations in place, continuously work on them over the next few years, but just figure out how to change your life to build it in a certain way that then you experience the other side of male life and everything comes together. That's what so many of you guys are missing. You've got the ideas in theory, but you don't actually know how to do them in practice. You've watched every single fucking video on how to attract women and whatnot, but you don't actually go out onto the street, dress really nice, speaking in a sophisticated manner with a nice accent, and opening up dialogue about topics that are actually important. You know, rather than, like, what are you going to do? Walk up to a woman and be like, I had 3 wanks last night and watch some anime. You interested? Do you know what I mean? She's going to be like, can you fuck off out of my face, you freak? Whereas if you were like, you recognize something she was wearing and you're just like, I know where that jacket's from. So, how do you know that? Do you know what I mean? You start talking, you're like, I literally just got back from Milan Fashion Week. No, it was enjoyable. Yeah, I loved it. Like, it's got my favorite coffee shop there. It was amazing. Like, oh, what airport did you fly from? Those sort of like conversations, you'd be very surprised. Once you have that deep domain knowledge on how life works, people love it. It goes very far. You end up opening up dialogue with some high level men who are like, they end up being worth 20 million and they can't find anybody like them either. And when you get all these like-minded guys together, that's when you get greatness. It's just finding the right people. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoy videos like this. They really scream old school, first man kind of vibes. This is why I started in the early days. And now I'm living it. In the old days, I have optimism, but the same thing is it's an experience. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'll speak to you all soon. Have a good one.